Okay, so welcome to your third video on beginning HTML, and in this video we are going to look at the image property. So I'm going to show you how to insert image to your website. So now, as you can see right on the desktop, the image tag is one of the HTML tag that has no closing tag. So it's one of the major empty elements in HTML. So before we start this tutorial, I will highly I want you to create a new folder in the desktop. Then you should name the folder website. Then we are going to create another folder inside this website. We'll name it images. So now just grab a picture from your laptop or anywhere, just any picture. Then you go to your images folder and you paste the picture there. Then you check the properties of the picture by right clicking on the picture and going down right to properties, and then so you check the type of file, this type of file. So you can see right here, this is .png. Others may be .jpg or .jpeg or .gif and others. So mine is .png. So I'm going to rename this picture to 1. So let's open up our text editor. Then we'll save a new file. So we'll save it in the website folder, and inside the website folder we're going to save it right here. We'll save it as index.html. Then we'll load the basic HTML setup, and then just give it random title. Then in the body we're going to use the image tag. So the tag used to represent image in HTML is the img. So just type in img and enter. So that's all. So the image tag, as I said, the image tag does not have a closing tag. So what we are mainly going to be looking at in the image tag are the attributes that the image tag has. So the first attribute we're going to look at is the source attributes. So the source attribute is what makes you to insert the image. It makes you to specify where your image is. So right now our image is in a folder called website, and also the index.html is in the folder called website. So we don't have to specify that. What we have to specify is that our image is inside another folder called images. So to go further, you are going to use the slash. To maybe you want to define the picture, you want to give the name of the image, or you want to, maybe there's another folder inside the images folder. Maybe you have 3 folders, maybe images slash, maybe another folder is a image slash photos, then the name of the image. So the image, I named it I think, let's check that. So it's 1. Name of the image is 1.png. So the file type we checked earlier. So let's save this and let's open in our browser. So right here you can see that we have our image. So now what we're going to be looking at next is the alt attribute. The alt attribute is used as an alternative in case the browser doesn't find your image. So let's say this alt, just type in alt as alternative. So alt, that alt stands for alternative. Then write this is a picture of a man. So let's assume maybe before we put it in into the web, we typed in 2.png, then we save this, then we refresh this. So you can see this is a picture of a man. So at least if the people can't find the image, they can still know what the image is about. So that is an alternative to use if the image was not displayed in the browser. So the next attribute you're going to look at is the title attribute. Let's also type in this is an image of a man. So let's change the image back to 1.png. Then let's save this. But note, if the browser finds the image, it's not going to display the alternative text. So now let's go to our browser, then we'll refresh this. So now whenever you hover the image, you're going to see a text. So it's that text is the title attribute that we used. So whatever you insert in the title attribute is what is going to be displayed when you hover the image. So now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to rescale the size of the image. You can see the image is just big and can't fit the screen at once. We're going to resize it to a much better way. So now to do this, we're going to use the width attribute. So in the width attribute, it's used to give the image a specific width. So let's use 200 pixels. So px stands for pixels. It's used to measure sizes, font, and other things in HTML. So now let's refresh our browser. So now you can see we have the image in a better way, but that seems too small. So let's just change this to 500 pixels, and let's save it and we'll refresh it. So you can see this is better. So the next attribute we're going to be looking at is the height attribute. It's also used to give the image an height. So let's give the image height of 200 pixels. Then let's save this and let's refresh the browser. So you can see the image height change. But as far as you insert a width for the image, the browser automatically look for a better height to insert for the image. So I want to recommend, if it's not necessary to use the height attribute, maybe you shouldn't use it. So let's save this back. Then we'll go to our browser. Then we'll refresh this. So now if you could recall in my video on links, I said you could use an image as a link. So for that, before we do that, let's create a new page and let's save this inside the same folder where we saved our index.html, which is the website folder. We'll save it as list.html. Then just type this out, welcome. Then here let's put some lists. So let's leave it like this. Then we'll save this. So let's link this image. Let's link from this index page to the list page. So remember I said to link an image you use the anchor tag. So href is the source which the page we want to link into, just like the source in the image tag. So we type in list.html. And also, if your list isn't in your website folder, you have to specify where the list is. So now to insert the image as a link, you have to copy it and put it in between the two anchor tags. Then Let's save this now and we'll refresh our browser. So you see, when you hover the image, you can see a finger there. So the finger shows you that you can click on the image. So now we click on the image and it took us to our list page.
So let's have a recap on what we have been looking at in this video. We are looking at the image tag. So the image tag is used to insert images to your website, and it is represented by the img elements tag, and it is also one of the mostly used empty elements in HTML. So empty elements are elements that does not have closing tag. So the image tag is one of those elements. So now we're going to be looking at the image tag attributes. The first attribute we're going to look at is the source attribute. The source attribute is used to specify the image path, used to specify the folder and also the image, and also the name of the image and the type of the image. So another attribute we looked at is the else attribute, which stands for alternative. It is used as an alternative if the image is not found by the browser. So the image is going to display the text that is in the alt attribute. So the next is the title attribute. It is used to display text when the cursor is over the image. So when you move your cursor over an image, you are going to see a text, maybe that you want the person is checking your website to see. So if you move your cursor over the image, you're going to see the text. And lastly, we have the width and the height, which is just used to give your shape the size, just to give your image a shape, just to be able to give it shape, like to be able to resize your image. So that's what the width and height attribute is used for. And also we also said you could use the image tag as a link. So to create a link with the image tag, you have to embed your image tag in the link tag, in the anchor tag. So the image tag can also be used to create a link by embedding it in the anchor tag. So the image tag has to be inside the anchor tag, then it's going to be shown as a list in the web browser. And lastly, please leave a like to this video if you enjoyed it, and leave comments. If you have any question, leave them in the comment section, and don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification button for updates on this channel. Thank you. And you can also check my video on links by clicking the video here.